Hey YouTube, this is Southern Prepper 1, and sorry about the noise above us. It is the wind. It's really windy, but it's a beautiful day. Let's get right into boots on the ground. If you have anything you could offer to assist people understanding what's going on in your area, it'd be greatly appreciated. Send it to southernprepper1@yahoo.com. southernprepper1@yahoo.com. Let's get right into it. I work in the packaging industry. One of my new customers is a medical device manufacturer. They package a lot of items in sterilized aluminum laminated pouches. Everything from syringes to wound treatment pads are put into these pouches. Due to the FDA regulation, there is no alternative to these aluminum laminates, and many of these products simply cannot be shipped out and sterilized without the aluminum foil laminates. I just got off a conference call with our supplier. The typical lead time for this stuff was about 8 weeks a year ago. It is now 52-week lead time. This can quite simply put some companies that rely on this product out of business. It should also be noted that this aluminum laminate is the same foil material used in almost all coffee bags and pouches. I also call on coffee companies and they are running out of inventory as well. However, they do have some plastic alternatives they can turn to, but it could create some coffee bottlenecks in the future. It's amazing how one product limitation can put a complete hold on an entire industry, something to consider for 2023. I live in the Finger Lakes region of New York, western upstate. I just ordered 150 gallons of home heating oil, $778. That was to top off my 2 tanks that hold 400 gallons. This would normally last from November to early February, and I would need to reorder for the late winter and early spring. The dispatch who takes the order was a really nice girl, and we talked about the hardships being placed on fixed income elderly and the invalids. She is deeply worried about those customers. It is a family-run business, the last of its kind in our region, and they are expecting $7 to $10 per gallon late winter, and very bad choice for people who will have to make. Do we get heat? Do we get food? Do we get medicine? Temperatures can go into the negative territory, wind chill factors. This may be life and death. I have preached wood heat since last January when it appears Putin would cut supplies and would drive the international demand. None of the governors in the Northeast has a real plan to increase supply, and few want to discuss it openly. Heating season will begin in earnest in the next 2 weeks. Electric will be hit hard also if people have to use space heaters to make up the difference. Kerosene is around $7 per gallon up there. Natural gas is the best answer, but less than half of the people up there are set up for it. Terrible. So please get your firewood, your oil, your propane, whatever you need. Get it now if you can. This is food related. This has to deal with a potential merger between Kroger and Albertsons. So look for that. I don't know if the federal government's going to allow it because both of those are huge companies. My friend and I really wanted some Hardee's poppers, so we went to a nearby Hardee's. It was only around 5 p.m. and they were already closed for the day. So we drove to another Hardee's. They didn't have any poppers. So we drove to a third Hardee's. They were open and they had poppers, but they were out of the containers for the poppers. So they piled both of our orders of poppers into one big fry container. Also, we live in a very upscale, preppy, yuppie area of town, the north side of Indianapolis. Right by a house, a local Chase Bank was robbed. And that's very unusual for this area. Also, they're saying many murders going on in this city, and almost one a day is happening so far in the month of October. This person says, my daughter-in-law said she was at Aldi's and everything was converted to self-checkouts, no cashiers. People weren't happy. We were in southern Illinois, just east of St. Louis. I went to my primary care doctor, who is a 100-mile round trip. I had not been in over 15 months. When I went to check in, I found out the doctor had moved back to her old location from 2020, which is on the opposite side of the town. In my car, I called the office and told them what would happen and that I would be late for my 3 p.m. appointment. It was almost 3 p.m. then. Then I was told if I have to be there in 10 minutes or they will cancel. They also said that there was no way I could make it. I told them I would do everything to get there and to tell the doctor I am coming. I drove 70 miles per hour on the highway and all the stoplights were green. I made it exactly at 3:10. I was told I was already canceled and would need to reschedule. I explained again. No one cared. I knew the doctor was still there because she always has more than one patient at a time. The office said they had sent a letter in April saying they were moving again. I don't recall any letter. I assume nothing had changed. So assuming nothing, next time I'll even call on the same day. But with the cost of gas so high and the distance so far, now she's going to have to wait 3 weeks for a follow-up appointment. I was hoping they were going to give me a break. I have seen this doctor for the last 25 years. According to a report today, there's a kerosene shortage in New York State. Storage tanks are dry. Suppliers unsure whether they'll get more. This is not good for people who have their fuel tanks outside, trailers, modular homes, homes with no basements, etc., as they cannot burn fuel oil due to the gelling issue below 32 degrees. This person said, seems to be a shortage of batteries in northeast Alabama, especially 9-volt batteries. This person took a trip, I think they were gone to Germany for 10 days, and they just described what they saw. They said the people in Germany don't stock up a lot. They shop almost daily at local stores, and everything is really built on electricity. The infrastructure of busing and to have people go traveling is buses, public transportation. Fuel is very expensive, so a lot of people don't have vehicles. So he just described it. He said people are stocking up. He said the farms look nice, but they're going to be hit very hard when they lose electricity in Germany. This is from Vegas. I think it's Las Vegas. Sunday, 9 a.m. No eggs for sale at the Walmart Supercenter. Also, they had rotten fruit in the produce section. They also said, this is from Los Angeles, my son reportedly happy to find gas for $6.69. I'm running about $3.39 for gas, so $6.69 would give us a heart attack in South Carolina. They said Vegas gas came down actually to $4.88, but now in the last 2 weeks it's jumped up to $5.89. She says, I'm a retired nurse. Rent went up $300. Wi-Fi went up $30 more per month. I'm going back to work. A lot of people will be going back to work with this crushing inflation. I work in a plastic factory in Missouri. Yesterday, I overheard a conversation between two of my higher-ups, and they were discussing the current state of the economy. One had mentioned how a person they knew was having to pick up 2 jobs just to get by. I had asked her if she thought we were in a recession, and she said she thinks that's the price we're seeing, and probably are. She said, or they said, I wish I had the courage to be more blunt of the situation, but unfortunately, I don't want to cause trouble in my job. This is the first time I've heard people discussing this. It seems like people are seeing it more in their area than is being given credit for. More people are waking up. This is from Dollar General. In their area, it's running low. Also, their local food line is low on dog food. Also, the increase from 50 cents a can to $1.25 in less than a month. They did say God is great and has given us a sense to take care of ourselves. So, if you see something you need, please buy it now. If you can afford it, stock it. I live on a Long Island and my home is heated by oil. All summer I've been worried about the price of fuel oil. On October 12th, I made an order for fuel oil and my fears were realized. I paid $4.69 per gallon. Normally I buy 300 gallons at a time, but at that price I only bought 150 gallons and the bill was still over $700. 150 gallons will last about a month and a half if I keep the thermostat below 60 degrees. I fear many people who cannot afford these high prices will freeze to death this winter. I truly wonder if this president and his administration really knows what Americans are going through. I think not. This person works in the medical field. This person works in a pediatric dental office in Washington State. There are times when a kid's dental treatment has to be done in the hospital. I recently called an office in Spokane and a children's hospital trying to coordinate treatment for a patient, and both places told me it's a 2-year wait for the operating room. 2 years for these kids to wait to have their treatment done. Also, I called in an antibiotic for a child today, and I was told by 3 pharmacies in town that they don't have the medicine. Finally, the 4th pharmacy I called had it. My nephew drives freight from place to place in New York to Florida. I just spoke to him. He's in Kansas. He told lately that his load had been almost half. He said that in some places the stores have very low inventory. He says things do not look good. I also told him of the possible of a rail strike. And that is a big problem. Hopefully it doesn't happen. So this trucker thinks things are getting worse, and the biggest problem he is having is when he goes and picks up a load, it's not a full load. So he's not making as much money, and this is very important. He says the dispatchers are trying to find him the fullest load possible. So this is terrible for truckers. If you're going to drive, you got to have a full load. You got to make max amount of money. This is from the Bank of America. They had stated that the U.S. economy will start losing 175,000 jobs a month in the late 2022, early 2023. So losing that many jobs, we're definitely in a recession. Also, if you've been keeping track with the mortgage rates, the 30-year mortgage rates are getting right under 7%. That's like the highest it's been in 16 years. This is killing people because this increase, it was just a few percentage points a year ago, and now it's gone sky high. Also, PC sales are down about 17.3%, and that's the steepest drop in 20 years. So if that doesn't scream people are cutting back, holding on to their money, I don't know what does. My wife and I went to the grocery store today. I heard that some grocery stores in our area were planning on adding security. Well, we finally saw it firsthand today. The security guard looked like our police officer, but in a private company uniform. He was about 6'2", wearing body armor, guns, cuffs, pepper spray, and I think I saw a taser. Security saw me checking him out and said hi. Friendly enough, but what I realized, how things are getting bad. I commented to my wife that I never thought I would see the need for an armed security in a grocery store. If our grocery stores in the Midwest are getting armed security officers, what do they know that they're not telling us? We are in flyover country here. This tells me that it's going to get tight. Food shortages may be the catalyst to all this. Hungry people will try to survive at all costs. So he recommends shopping in pairs, stay armed, situational awareness, keep your head on a swivel. This is information from New England. Up until the past couple weeks ago, we hadn't seen shelves really empty. We've seen pockets here and there, but nothing alarming. Until now. I am from Maine, but I've been working in Massachusetts. Recently, I went shopping in Walmart in Massachusetts. Shelves are really starting to look bad. Meat section was very thin. Not a lot to choose from. Pasta aisle was extremely picked over. Not much there either. Sections of the frozen aisles are completely empty. Cold meat sections are half full. Eggs almost completely wiped out. I have a relative that does inventory for Walmart. They say turkey prices are going to almost $2 a pound for a whole turkey. They say this person that does the inventory are normally in a store 8 to 10 hours. But now inventory is only taking 4 to 5 hours. That will tell you that they have a lot less in the store. This person was in a grocery store, and the person in front of them in the self-checkout walked out without paying for her $115 of food. This is from Central Kentucky. I just purchased 4 new tires for a Kubota Utv at the same dealership, at the same exact model and make of tires that I purchased in April of 2021. They were $640. Today, they were $750. And this is for a ministry, and it hurts. I also bought some grass seeds and fertilizer today. It was expensive. The worker said that everything has gone up in price. He said that they've even raised prices on things that they haven't raised for as many as 6 years just because they can't afford to replace them with this high inflation. This person's in upstate New York. I've used a website, Chewy.com, and a lot of people do that, to purchase items for our pets, which include a guinea pig. I placed a good supply of items in the online cart last week, but didn't check out. I went back today to complete the transaction, and every item went up in price. I'm attaching pictures for you, and they were. Everything was up. Look at that first item. It's an edible grass tunnel that guinea pigs play in and chew on. It's more than doubled in price. It went from $11 to $23.41. This is information from Toronto, real estate in Toronto. I heard from a realtor that he said there are now a bidding war on for rental properties, even apartments. Some people have paid 6 months and even up to a year rent ahead to secure the rental. He said it's so hard to talk to potential renters as they cannot pay the going rates and are often in tears. I just want to add a price point to boots on the ground. Yesterday at Walmart in northern Indiana, I purchased some deodorant. And basically what they're saying is deodorant is gone up about 25%. They have a few people in their family, so it is costly to them. Families like mine make too much to get help, but right now it's starting to hurt us, especially with hours being cut at husband's works. He has had 6 full checks since May. So definitely everyone is feeling it. You might have been fine a year ago, but the inflation rate is really hurting everyone. This is an observation. There are 3 Union Pacific lines in southeast Wyoming running east to west. Prior to the spring of 2022, the lines nearest our home typically ran about 8 trains per 24 hours. Then in April, the trains escalated to 14 to 16 trains in 24 hours. This continued throughout the summer until just recently. Over the last 3 weeks, the trains have decreased back to perhaps slightly below 8 trains for 24 hours. Also, the trains now are more noticeably shorter in length. This is in Texas. I needed to do a coolant change on my diesel truck. I was finally able to get jugs of coolant I needed after hitting up 5 different stores. He also needed some distilled water and nothing, still looking. In their area, Texas eggs are close to $4 a dozen. They used to be like $1.79 a year ago. Also, sausage, hard to find. And bleach is almost $4 a jug. That's insane. And I agree, bleach has gone crazy over here. Also, no peanut butter. So, other things he mentioned, his 40-pound bag of chicken feed, layer feed, went up from 9 to 17. Everything's going up. This person's son works at a outlet store, and yesterday 2 people walked in and grabbed an armful of sweatshirts and just walked out of the store. This is unbelievable. It's happening everywhere. I want to close on this sort of the same thing I talked about this morning. I want to read you what was sent to me. It was a blessing to me. Hopefully it blesses you. I am the sole manager of a charity milk fund for my local school district. It supplies free cartons of milk to elementary school children at their morning recess if they are on the free or reduced lunch. And this is almost every child. So they really don't have any fundraisers for this program. And she went in to say in 2020 the cost was 27 cents for a carton of milk. Then it went to 30 cents. And now this year it's 37 cents. But someone has been donating money. I don't know if it's one person, multiple, but they had over 25 donations into the checking account at the local bank that helps take care of this project. $7,500 was added to this account, and so this money is used as a snack for children that definitely need it. So that is good news. And this morning I did stress, if the doom and gloom is bothering you, shut it down. Go off YouTube for a week. Take a mental break. But don't worry about things you can't control. There's a lot of things you can't control. Some of the stuff in this thing you can't control, but you can control moderately prepping, preparing, building relationships. If it's getting to you, you need to stop or look for something for you to do that's positive. There's a lot of places to volunteer. If you have free time, volunteer a few hours every week. See other people are in desperate need. And if you see people that are worse than you, guess what? It might make you feel a little bit better about yourself or motivate you to help them. And in turn, you will be helped yourself by helping others. I hope Boots on the Ground helps. It is just a little snippet of what is actually going on out there, and use it to finish off your preps, or use it to maybe get neighbors or other people, say, hey, watch this guy, he's got some good things. And a special thanks to everyone that sends things in. Without you sending it in, Boots on the Ground would not happen, so I appreciate it. Thanks for watching.